come gather round skeptics wherever you roam. Because it seems ideology's taking its toll now that diverse opinions give way to control. And the words that we are exchanging imply we should all simply stick to our roles, but the times they are changing. White protesters speaking with pride on behalf of people whose pigment is used to distract from the unbelievably ironic facts. These righteous protesters are racist. If you look in that mirror, you won't like what looks back, 'cause the times they are changing.
Would you believe that this thing is 50% chicken, 20% bacon, 30% Chinese fetus? Of course not. That would label me as a conspiracy theorist and brand this show as fake news. You could see this as something out of a dystopia book like Sword Art Online setting up its universe to be with over-ambitious hopes for virtual reality. And that brings our topic all the way to anime and 4Kids entertainment. First appearing in the manga joint comic Bon Bon in 1998 and making the jump to anime form in 2001, Fighting Foodons was licensed by 4Kids Entertainment for its often reviled Foxbox project, which Gen Zers like me look fondly upon for Sonic X and the 03 Ninja Turtles series. Foxbox, later 4Kids TV, is a block that has its ups and way downs. But I have reason to believe that Fighting Foodons is one of the most unique shows of the Mon Wars, with its finely simmered humor and yummy punny characters. Alright, I think I've gotten you guys hungry enough, so let's get to the gameplay. Ladies and gentlemen of my mob, time to riot loose with a Fandom Arson of Fighting Foodons episode 4. You wanna pizza me? Let's find out. Belts up, gang. We're about to land. The episode begins with Claudia exploring a haunted house, searching for a pair of Foodons that live there.
Just looking at Princess Cupcake's portrait boils my cheese.
Huh? You said it. If it weren't for her, Master Flambe would still be here. Let me add a slice. Let me add a...
Frenchie!
Sorry.
She'll return someday, and then we'll get our revenge.
Just by looking at the corny character designs, do you truly understand the premise of this show?
These are magical cards called meal tickets. They will make your dinner come to life. Observe.
They're called Fighting Foodons, and now when chefs prepare a meal, they prepare for battle.
And this is what makes Fighting Foodons so special in this day and age of insecurity. Nowhere in the maturity-obsessed TV cartoon culture would this stack of sheer Silver Age crazy get off the ground today.
There's a frighteningly large number of people who enjoy animation, but are so terrified of being perceived as childish that they demand every single animated property under the sun go darker and more grown up, even when that would be a terrible idea.
What we are currently looking at here are the dying gasps of the Silver Age of family animation, struggling to emerge from the campy procedural action shows like Street Sharks or Freakazoid, coping with the loss of the Spielberg animated universe and riding high off copying Pixar and DreamWorks, including the post-Renaissance Eisner administration at Disney. But it is still a bit far from the overarching stories in American TV animation to become the norm in these parts, hence why we have Japanese anime picking up the slack. But enough about evolution, we've got a campy theme song to look at.
Pick the right ingredients to make the food obedient.
Depending on the spice you add, your foodon could be really bad.
Leave it to the theme song to set the tone of this silly old monster collectathon. Its use of public domain music and adding lyrics to it establishes a quirky adventure series with a bit of campy feel to it. We cut to our main hero Chase and his companions Kayla and Python reading up on the backstory of Sir Flavio Flambe, the former keeper of the castle and a master chef of the Glutton Empire's royal family. More specifically, the Princess Cupcake. She's a bitch! As I will now show you.
I think I'm in the mood for some pizza.
It will be the finest in the land.
So Master Flambe had the best ingredients delivered to the royal kitchen, twirled the dough for 3 hours, and by the time the masterpiece pizza was finished, Princess Cupcake had already grabbed a slice at the local pizza place downtown, where the service was a little faster.
This is really good.
Naturally, he ends up going all Seymour asses and wastes his life waiting for something that'll never happen, and now his Foodons are haunting the place and paying the price. Much to Chase and Company's discomfort.
I'd make a joke about how you spent too much time getting the perfect ingredients, or do a rousing speech about imperfection for past actors from Doctor Who to recite at conventions. But this establishment is not allowed to give Tatiana Murder or Sainsbury Moffat the benefit of association.
Slice and dice. No one who goes into that forest never comes out alive.
If you dare to come into the forest of Flambe, you will find the goblins gobbling grease blots on the way. Careful not to lose your way and step on Pizza Ghost. Slice would not be happy, not to mention Frenchy Le Toast.
Listen, I know my Danny Elfman, so let me tell you what. If you're trying to be This Is Halloween, grim grinning ghosts you ain't. Kayla gets kidnapped in the crossfire and is whiskeyed off to Flambe's. Hey, if this show's shooing out puns, I'm gonna shoo it out puns too.
This device will self-destruct in 3 seconds. Ciao.
Yeah, right. What's that? I almost believed her for a second. Yeah, I did too.
Playing around with expectations. Well played. With the bait now on the hook, Chase and the gang seek out the fiendish felons. While Python is easily startled, Chase ain't having Claudia's shit today.
Now it's time for the toast attack. Ow! Hey!
You know, there's a film theory episode in this little scene, but I'm not too sure on if and or when Matt Pat would have the narcs to do it. Python is cowering over the stock song, as even the shifting of leaves is enough to make him jump.
Chase, I'm not too crazy about goose cooking anymore, and I really want to get out of here right away.
And now you're being annoying.
The gang soon finds trouble in the form of a muck swarm, and the group promptly flee from the Nintendo brand cease and desist waiting to happen, knocking one of the burnt meatballs out of the food cart and into the range of Frenchy Le Toast.
Okay, meathead, prepare to be evenly sliced. Master!
Oh, you think he's gonna save you, ass? Please, you're a dime a dozen. There's no reason for Chase to...
That's a meatball!
And you just won the Dumbass of the Year award! Give him a round of applause. Despite the show's best unconscious efforts to end itself out of shame, Chase survives on account of the scythe merely being a sheet of tinfoil.
Marca Albon frowns upon thee!
And Frenchy is promptly rewarded with the pain usually reserved for his say-you-mate escargoon. And believe me when I say that these kids have a lot of say-you-mates under the localization squad, lovingly dubbed the anime equivalent of the Beeb. They tend to reuse the same actors over and over again throughout its decade-plus of service, and you can tell who's who from the accents they use. The more iconic roles and characters they have under their belt, the easier it is to pick them out of the crowd. Perfect example being Maddie Blaustein, the late voice of Meowth, turning up here as the wise sorcerer named Haoji Oslo.
Master Flambe, I'm afraid you're making a mistake. I know you worked very hard creating this pizza, but you've forgotten one very important thing. A great master chef should cook for the sheer joy of cooking, not to receive a compliment.
Amy Pallant voices Kayla, And even Ted Lewis turns up again as Jack Makauchi, great master chef and father to 2 to 4 beautiful children. Yeah, this was before dub twins were banned from the Yggdrasil restoration effort community, but after the crash, so yeah. After a light scorching of Frenchy le toast, he guides the crew to the haunted mansion, where by chance, Frida goes to make them beat... sorry, it's an old fused loop. As Kayla tries to escape, but to no avail.
Alright then, here we go. We're going into the mansion right now.
I've a script goof! Poor fellas. Scripting goof, let's throw it in the trash! Predictably, they are tormented by a will-o'-the-wisp and shuffling objects, only finding solace in trick mirrors.
Huh? Oh, of course they are. Yeah, I knew that.
You called those haunted mirrors? We've got real haunted mirrors that can tell the future. Right, future me?
Well, we've survived 2 full terms of a Trump presidency. Heck, even thrived in it, so yeah, we're doing okay up here.
Thank you.
The group are led to Master Slice, armed with a real metal scythe this time around, and with no turtle dudes to properly fight the guy. The chefs decide to break out the meal tickets just as I'm about ready to break out the Gordon Ramsay jokes.
Okay, if you want to make this difficult, I'm always ready for a battle. Now serving fried ricer!
Fried ricer! Ha! Ha! Fried ricer! Fried ricer.
All right. How's that grab you, Jack? Or maybe you like cheddar better. You a mozzarella fella? How about a lot of ricotta?
Fine dining?
No, chef.
A fine fucking mess!
Now serving Sir Dumpling!
Dumpling! Jolly good!
Slice of cheese?
Dumpling!
Dumpling got cheese!
Do you know something?
Yes, chef.
You're a great fucking talker, but you're a shit cook. You just sunk your teeth.
I did not,
madam.
chef.
Fuck off!
No!
Are you alright?
We're sorry, Chase. We thought we had him.
Listen, 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 listen. Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. Get out!
Power toppings activated!
Cheese.
Smashing! Ricer! Sir Dumpling! Fried ricer!
This is getting exciting!
I've seen better.
The 2 lead Foodons promptly kick his hide, and Omelette breaks out Kayla, and the spirit of Master Flambe shows up again to visit who he views as Princess Cupcake. Oh, and spoilers, by the way.
Princess Cupcake, Your Highness, I've waited so long. Welcome.
Princess? Your Highness? Chase, look! Princess Cupcake looks just like Kayla! So that's why Claudia kidnapped her.
I would have waited till Kayla was more, developed, if I were Kayla. But hey, you do you. At least you didn't bring out Sergeant's side dish again. Oslo tells Flambe the moral of the story, and Kayla tastes and enjoys the perfect pizza that Harlot Cupcake walked out on.
It tastes great! It's great, Master Flambe!
Oh, she really likes it. There now, was that so difficult? Thank you, Princess, and enjoy the pizza.
Conclusion.
This was a serviceable episode of a show that's very underlooked. Once you get past the generally cheesy premise and starchy 4Kids humor, you are more than sure to get a good taste of a show that can stack up with the finest culinary masterpieces in television, on par with such names like Bobby Flay, Adam Richman, Guy Fieri, and yes, obviously Gordon fucking Ramsay. Even today, it can also be a look onto what the modern cartoon community is insistent on avoiding and are thus emotionally suffering because of that, both in the terrible shows and the shows we take for granted.
So I stand firmly and adamantly against that notion. Not only are animated shows better and overall smarter when they keep a solid head on their shoulders about who they're supposed to be geared toward, but the superficial trappings of maturity and making limp-handed efforts to be contemplative is what brought us The Legend of Korra.
Trying to appease these straw feminists who only exist to drain the joy out of every corner of entertainment? Well, that just makes you...
a cook's sandwich.
Exactly.
I'm at Comic-Con!
Hi, I'm Jocelyn, creator of the Boomsins and Sonic Accents series, in which Captain Think Press is a regular guest to rake in extra cash to pay out its tragic underuse. This particular segment is made to rank the targets in a particular category, today's being anime.
That's right, today was a mere math of a surprise as Gigi is unceremoniously knocked out of second place by this episode of Fighting Foodons. But while there is still a chance for old Deep Dish to pick out another episode to redeem itself, the best in show is still Persia, with its wrestling lesbians. And while our old pals, the Suzuki Septuplets, are watching their Sayumi and Claudia fail to nab their crew of Foodons from the dead center of the chart, the bottom two remain the same. Chummy invaders sit on the edge of meh that's the farthest away from Space Pirate Mito's abysmal pilot. Well, that about wraps it up here. But as long as there's a regular customer to kick around, you know where to look in our ever-growing back catalog.